Hello everyone. So now today I am taking miscellaneous exercise of vector algebra. Miscellaneous exercise. Miscellaneous exercise of vector algebra. Okay. This is exercise, you can say it's 10.6 also. Question number 1. Write down a unit vector in xy plane making angle 30 degree with the positive direction of x-axis. Question number 1. What is it? Write down a unit vector in the xy plane. Write down a unit vector in the xy plane. And which type of this unit vector making an angle 30 degree with the positive direction of x-axis. 30 degree with the positive direction of x-axis. Okay. So suppose it is OP. Now we are going to make, the question is, write down a unit vector. Okay. So first of all, we are going to make a vector of this OP. Because this angle is 30 degree, we can draw one perpendicular like that. Okay. So this is xi. It is along the y-axis, that is yj. Okay. So vector OP is equal to xi plus yj. Okay. Xi plus yj. Here you can see one thing, that in this triangle OPQ, suppose in triangle OPQ, when you use cos 30, so cos 30 is equal to base upon hypotenuse. Base upon hypotenuse. Okay. So what is it? Base is x upon hypotenuse is OP. Cos 30, that means it is root 3 by 2 is equal to x upon OP. And sin 30 in the same triangle, sin 30 is equal to y upon OP. Sin 30 is 1 upon 2 is equal to y upon OP. What is given? It is given that it is a unit vector. Unit vector, what does it mean? Magnitude of OP is equal to 1. Okay. So that is 1, and here is also 1. So it is coming x is equal to root 3 upon 2 and y is equal to 1 upon 2. Is that okay? Because the value of this OP is equal to 1. So these values will be substituted here. So vector OP is equal to xi, root 3 by 2 I and 1 by 2 g. Okay. So this is a unit vector along the making an angle 30 degree with the positive direction of x-axis. Okay. This is question number 1. Now let us see the question number 2. Second question of this exercise, which says find a scalar components of the magnitude of vectors joining the point P and Q, and the coordinates are P, x1, y1, z1 and x2, y2, z2. Two things is given. One is we are finding the scalar component, and second is magnitude. Okay. Scalar component and magnitude. Question number 2. Point P, x1, y1, z1. Point Q, it is given that x2, y2 and z2. Okay. We are going to find the scalar component of these two vectors. The scalar components of magnitude of the vectors joining these 2 points P and Q. So vector PQ is equal to, right here, Poisson vector of Q minus Poisson vector of P. Poisson vector of Q, you know that how to vectorize these points in the form of vector x to y along x-axis plus y to j plus z to k. So it is x to I plus y2j plus z2k minus x1i plus y1j plus z1k. So is it coming x2 minus x1i plus y2 minus y1j and plus z2 minus z1k. I hope it is clear because you have completed this vector chapter. It's taking I like term, j and k. Scalar component. Scalar components. x2 minus x1, y2 minus y1 and z2 minus z1. Okay. And second they are asking that magnitude. Magnitude is equal to the coefficient of squares of scalar component x2 minus x1 whole square plus y2 minus y1 whole square plus z2 minus z1 whole square. So magnitude of this. Okay. So these are two things. One scalar component and second is the magnitude. Right. So that is question number 2. Question number 3. It's a very interesting and important question. We'll try to understand it. Number 3. The question is, a girl walks 4 kilometers towards west, then she walks 3 kilometers in the direction of 30 degrees east of north and stop. Determine the girl's displacement from her initial point of the departure. It's a very interesting question. A girl walks 4 kilometers towards west. 4 kilometers towards west. Okay. Direction north, south, west, and it is east. We will consider the initial point of the girl be O. Okay. Let the initial point of girl be O. This is the initial point. She walks 4 kilometers towards west. 4 kilometers towards west. Suppose this is the position A, 4 kilometers. Is it okay? Next line, read very carefully. Then she walks 3 kilometers in the direction 30 degrees east of north. From here, (30 kilometers east of north. 30 kilometers. This is 30 degree. 30 degree, 3 kilometers. 30 degree, 3 kilometers east of north. This is 3 east of north. Okay. Suppose this point is B. And diagram is okay. Determine the girl's displacement from her initial point to the departure. So this is the initial point and this is the final point. Okay. So actually we are going to find the displacement, the distance from O to B, right? She walks 4 kilometers towards west and after that she walks 3 kilometers to 30 degree of east from north. This is the condition. 30 degree of east from north. Okay. So we'll have to draw one perpendicular here. Suppose this point is P. Okay. So we are going to find OB. So vector OB is equal to OA plus AB. Am I right? OB is equal to OA plus AB because he has come here at A and from A to B. Got it? OP is equal to OA plus AB. OA, we don't have any problem for finding vector. This is equation number 1. Vector OA is equal to the position vector of A minus position vector of origin. That means the position vector of A. She walked 4 kilometers to the left side of x-axis, to the negative side of x-axis. So because it is I and that side it is minus I. So what does it mean? OA is equal to minus 4I. Okay. It is when we are converting in the vectorized form. So OA is equal to magnitude 4 and direction is negative of I. Second, we are finding AB. AB is equal to, using the triangle of vector addition, AB is equal to AP plus PO. AP plus PO. AP. This is AP. If this angle is 30 degree, that means this angle is 60. Okay. So how to find AP in this triangle? See, in triangle APB, using cos 60. So cos 60 is equal to base upon hypotenuse. Base is AP upon hypotenuse is 3. So the value of cos 60 is 1 by 2 AP upon 3. Therefore, AP is equal to 3 upon 2. This is the value of AP. Second, we are going to find the PV. AB is equal to AP plus PB. AP plus PB. It is not PO, it is PB. Okay. So second, we are going to find PB. So in the same triangle, we'll use sin 60. Sin 60 is equal to perpendicular BP upon AB. And what is AB? That is 3. Sin 60 root 3 by 2 is equal to BP upon 3. So therefore BP is equal to 3 root 3 upon 2. So now I got two values AP and BP. These are in the magnitude form. So when we substitute the value of AB is equal to AP. So vector AP, that is magnitude AP is 3 by 2 I plus PB. I in this direction, x-axis plus I and PB. That is. So its magnitude is 3 root 3 by 2 and j. Okay. So vector AB is equal to 3 by 2 I plus 3 root 3 by 2 j. This is the value of AB. Now why 1? Equation 1, because finally we are finding OB. So OB is equal to OA plus AB. OA already we have got OA minus 4I plus AB. AB that is 3 by 2I plus 3 root 3 by 2j. Okay. Like terms, I and I is minus 4 plus 3 by 2I plus 3 root 3 by 2j. So minus 8 plus 3, it is minus 5 by minus 8 plus 3 minus 5 by 2I plus 3 root 3 by 2j. Is it okay? So vector OB is equal to minus 5 by 2I plus 3 root 3 by 2j. They are asking there was a displacement, so this is the displacement. Right, so given that determines Gauss displacement from initial point to the departure. Okay. And when you are going to find the magnitude, you'll find the displacement from O to B simply under root 5 by 2 whole square plus 3 root 3 by 2 whole square. It's okay. We can write like that. OB is equal to in the magnitude form. So it is 5 by 2, 25 by 4 plus 3 root 3, 9 3 are 27 by 4. So it is coming 52 by 4. That means 4 1 are 4, 4 3 are 12. 4 1 are 4 and 4 3 are under root 13. So displacement is under root 13. This is the magnitude from O to B. By the way, the vector equation is this. This is the vector equation. There is displacement for it. Okay, clear? So that was question number 3. It's very interesting question, important question also. Next question is question number 4. If vector A is equal to B plus C, then is it true that magnitude of A is equal to magnitude of B plus magnitude of C? Justify your answer. Very interesting question. If vector A is equal to vector B plus vector C, so that means it is a triangle law of vector addition. They are asking that justify whether it is true or not. Okay. So vector A is equal to vector B plus C, that means we are talking about a triangle like this. So vector A, vector B, that is vector C. Okay. Vector A is equal to vector B plus vector C. A is equal to B, A plus B is equal to C. Now this is A plus B is equal to C. Okay, B plus C, right. Vector B plus vector C is equal to A. Can we write it like that? Anyway, vector A is equal to B plus C. It's a vector triangle. What is it? It's a triangle law of vector addition. Triangle law of vector addition. Okay. It's a triangle law of vector addition. Vector A is equal to B plus C. But here you can, by the way, I'm not satisfied like that. Is it okay? A is equal to B plus C. Same thing. A is equal to B plus C. So I am satisfied with this diagram. Vector A is equal to B plus C. Now let us see whether it is true or not. So I will find the magnitude of A. This is A, B, and it is C. Magnitude of A. Magnitude of A, what does it mean? This is BC in this triangle. So magnitude of A, that means it is BC, is equal to magnitude of A, B, that is AC, and magnitude of C, it is AB. Is it okay? BC is equal to AC plus AB. Is it true? In class 9th, you have studied our theorem that in a triangle, sum of any two sides of triangle is always greater than third side. It is not possible that sum of any two sides of triangle is equal to third side. If it comes, that means these 3 points are coming in a straight line. Okay. So here, what is this? As per the theorem, sum of any two sides of triangle is always greater than third side. So what does it mean? Here it should be BC is less than AC plus BC. Always. Always sum of any two sides of triangle is greater than third side. Okay. So that means which is not true. Okay. Because this is the condition. Okay, we can write here sum of any two sides of triangle is greater than third side, as we know that. So therefore this term is not true. It is true only for the triangle law of vector addition. Okay. So that is question number 4. Fifth question, find the value of x for which x, I plus j plus k is a unit vector. I think it's quite simple question. Find the value of x, I plus j plus k is a unit vector. It is given that unit vector. And when it is a unit vector, what does it mean? Is equal to 1. Okay. So I'll write in the magnitude form. It is x square plus x square plus x square is equal to 1. Because we'll write in the under root form. So x square, it is 1 square plus 1 square plus 1 square. So what does it mean? It is 3x square is equal to 1. Therefore, root 3x is equal to 1. So x is equal to 1 upon root 3. Okay. and that is a unit vector. This is a value of x, and we can put here plus minus also, because when we convert in under root form, then always the term is coming in the form of plus minus 3. So this term is coming plus minus 3, therefore x is equal to plus minus 1 upon root 3. This is the value of x. Next question number 6. Find a vector of magnitude 5 unit and parallel to the resultant of the vectors this and this. Okay. Next question. 6 is find a vector of magnitude 5 unit and parallel to resultant of the vectors. Vector A and B are given 2i plus 3j minus k. Vector A is equal to 2i plus 3j minus k, and vector B is equal to I minus 2j plus k. It is given. And the question is, we are going to find a unit vector of magnitude 5 and parallel to resultant of these two vectors. Resultant. So vector R is equal to, may I write vector A plus B. R is resultant, sum of them. So vector R is equal to A plus B. Adding 2i plus I, it is 3i. 3j minus 2j, it is plus j. And it is 0. 3i plus k. So we are going to find the vector having magnitude 5. So first of all, we have to find its unit vector. So unit vector, what does it mean? Vector R upon magnitude of vector R. So this is 3i plus j upon magnitude of 3, it is 9 plus 1. So 3i plus j upon under root 10. Is it okay? It's a unit vector, and we are going to find a vector which is having a magnitude of 5 unit. Okay. So the vector R having magnitude 5 is 5 3i plus j upon under root 10. And this is also coming with plus minus sign, because this is always having a plus minus. Okay. So it is plus minus 15 upon root 10 I plus minus 5 upon root 10 j. Okay. R plus minus right here. So this is the vector. Next question number 7. Vector A, B and C are given. Find a unit vector parallel to the vector 2a minus b plus 3c. Find a unit vector parallel to the vector. 7th question. Writing the vector A, B and C. These are given. Vector A is equal to I plus j plus k. Vector B, it is 2i minus j plus 3k. And vector C is given I minus 2j plus k. I minus 2j plus k. Okay. These are three vectors given. Find a unit vector parallel to the vector 2a minus b plus 3c. 2a minus b plus 3c. We are going to find a unit vector which is parallel to it. Hope you have understood it. First we are finding the value of this and then find the unit vector of it. Okay. Which is a parallel to that one. Okay. So unit vector 2, the value of A, I plus j plus k, minus vector B, 2i minus j plus 3k, plus 3 vector C, I minus 2j plus k. So that is, I am collecting all the items. 2i minus 2i, it is cancelled, only 3i is left. Okay. Plus 2j plus j, 3j, and it is minus 6j, 3j minus 6j, minus 3j, 2k minus 3k, 2k minus 3k, it is minus k, and plus 3k, so it is 2k. Okay, right? So this is the vector. Now we are going to find the unit vector. Unit vector of 2a minus b plus 3c is equal to 2a minus b plus 3c vector upon magnitude of magnitude of 2a minus b plus 3c. Okay, so that is 2a minus b plus 3c. Already we have got it, 3i minus 3j plus 2k upon its magnitude is the scalar components of I 9 plus 3 3 is 9 plus 2 2 is 4. So 3i minus 3j plus 2k upon, what is this? 9 9 18 plus 4 22. Okay, so 3 upon root 22i minus 3 upon root 22j plus 2 upon root 22k. This is the unit vector parallel to this vector 2a minus b plus 3c. Okay, so finding out the magnitude, I think you know that whatever the scalar components are there of I, j, k, square of 3 9, square of minus 3 plus 9, square of 2 is again plus 4. Question number 8 and 9 both are the same question, same type of questions. I am taking 8th one. Show that points A, B and C are collinear. First we'll have to show that point A, B, C are collinear and find the ratio in which B divides AC. Show that 3 points A, B, C. Question number 8. Point A, B and C. 3 points are given. A 1 minus 2 minus 8, B 5 0 minus 2, and C 11 3 and 7. These are the 3 points. 1 minus 2 minus 8, 5 0 minus 2, and 11 3 7 are collinear, and find the ratio in which B divides AC. Two things are there. First we are going to prove that the points are collinear. How to find the points are collinear? For finding the collinear point, we'll find the vector AB and then we'll find the vector BC. Okay, or simply we will find out the magnitude of AB, magnitude of vector BC and magnitude of vector AC. Okay, and let us see that the sum of squares of other two sides is equal to the third side, then 3 points are collinear. Right. So may I find vector AB? Vector AB, Poisson vector of B minus Poisson vector of, always you remember this thing, whenever we are finding the vector AB and the points are given or the vector terms are given, so we'll write like that, Poisson vector of B minus Poisson vector of A. Poisson vector of B, that means we are going to vectorize this term, so it is 5i plus 0j minus 2k. Okay, so Poisson vector of B 5i plus 0j minus 2k minus Poisson vector of A I minus 2j minus 8k. Is it okay? So this is I with I, 5i minus I, it is 4i, 0j plus 2j, it is 2j, and minus 2k plus 8k, it is 6k. What is it? This is vector AB. Okay. As well, we'll find the magnitude of AB also, because this is also required. So it is 4 square 16 plus 2 square 4 plus 36. So the result is 36 plus 4, 40, and it is 56. Okay. It is 56. If 56 we want to make it a prime factor, so 2 2 is 4, 2 8 is 16, 2 14, 2 7. So this is 2 under root 14. Okay. So may I write here 2 under root 14. Second, we are going to find BC. Vector BC. What is it? Vector BC. Position vector of C minus position vector of B. Minus position vector of B. Position vector of C. 11i plus 3j plus 7k. Minus position vector of B. 5i plus 0j minus 2k. So the result is 11 minus 5, it is 6i, 3j minus j, it is again 3j, and 7k plus 2k, 9k. Okay, therefore magnitude of BC vector is equal to 36 plus 9 and plus 81. 81 plus 9, 90, and 36, it is 126. And what is the prime factor of 126? 63, 21, 7. So 3 root 14. 3 under root 14. Okay. And third, we are going to find AB, BC, and now AC. Position vector of C minus position vector of A. Okay. Position vector of C minus position vector of A. What is position vector of C? 11i plus 3j plus 7k minus position vector of A, I minus 2j minus 8k. Okay, so it is coming 11i minus I, it is 10i plus 3j plus 2k, 5j, 3j plus 2j, 5j, 7k and plus 8k, it is 15k. Okay. So magnitude of vector AC is equal to under root 100 plus 25 and plus 15, 15 to 25. Okay. See, 11 minus 1, it is 10, 3 plus 2, it is 5, and 7 plus 8, it is 15. So 225 plus 1, 250, and 100, 350. 350. Prime factor of 350, this is by 5, 5 7 is 35, 0, again 5, 5 1 is 5, 4 20. So it is 5 under root 40. 5 under root 40. Now we'll analyze these three terms. Magnitude of AB 2 root 14. Magnitude of BC, it is 3 root under root 14. And magnitude of AC, it is 5 under root 14. And you can see 2 under root 14 plus 3 under root 14, it is 5 under root 14, which is equal to 5 under root 14. Okay. And what does it mean? Sum of any two sides is equal to third side. That means these 3 points are collinear. So which type of picture which we are seeing from here? We are seeing that AB plus BC. This is the situation. AB plus BC is equal to AC. And AB plus BC is equal to AC. That means the point B is coming in middle. There's a and last point is a C. Is it okay? That means the situation is something like that. It is A, there's a B, and there's a C. Okay. So because AB plus BC is equal to AC, what does it mean? Points are collinear. Hence, A, B, and C are collinear. Okay. Now we are going to find the second part. We'll find the ratio in which B divides AC. To find the ratio in which B divides AC. Okay. So this is the first part of the question. Second part. B divides AC. And we are finding the ratio. So we'll use the section formula. Internally section formula will be used. This rough diagram I want to make here, it is A, here is a B, and this point is C. Let O is here. This is A 1 minus 2, like this. We are going to find the ratio. So let the ratio be lambda ratio 1, or I will take K ratio 1. You're familiar with this K? Because you know, when we are going to find the ratio, always we'll take a ratio in the form of K ratio 1 rather than taking M ratio N. Because K ratio 1 when we'll take, so simply we are going to find the value of K only. We are not going to find the two values. So we'll take the ratio be K ratio 1. Okay? So vector. So here we are using section formula. Section formula vector OB. Vector OB is equal to what to write here? K multiplied by OC plus 1 multiplied by vector OA upon K plus 1. This is the section formula. So OB what does it mean? Position vector of B. So in place of OB I am writing 5i plus 0j minus 2k. Is it okay? 0 I have written so that's easy, and when we compare K multiplied by OC, position vector of C, 11i plus 3j plus 7k and plus 1 multiplied by OA, I minus 2j minus 8k upon K plus 1. Is it okay? So this is 5i plus 0j minus 2k is equal to, we are writing the like terms, 11k plus 1i, 11k plus 1 with I, and 3k minus 2 with j plus 7k minus 8 with 7k minus 8 with j. Here actually there are 2k, you know, one is this k and second one is that one. So it is a unit. So there may be, okay, but don't worry, the k which we are having a cap on it, and this is without cap. Okay, it is without cap. Upon k plus 1. Upon k plus 1. This k plus 1 will be shifted here. Okay. And when we shift the k plus 1 here, so this k plus 1 will be multiplied to all the terms. So it is 5k plus 5i. It is when we multiply this entire term is 0 minus 2 k plus 1 with j is equal to 11k plus 1 I plus 3k minus 2 j and plus 7k minus 8 k. Okay. Both sides we will compare I, that means the scalar components of I, j and k. So this 5k plus 5 is equal to 11k plus 1. 5k plus 5 is equal to 11k plus 1. Result, let us see the result. 11k minus 5k, it is 6k. 6k is equal to 5 minus 1 is 4. So that means k is equal to 4 upon 6 means it is 2 upon 3. So the ratio is 2:3. Is it okay? We will verify that the ratio is true for all, yes or no. Okay. By the way, this this j I have written here, j is cancelled, minus 2k plus 1, it is k. Okay. So we will compare with the k term, then see what is the term. By the way, it is not required, but let us see. Minus 2k plus 1 is equal to 7k minus 8. See the result will say minus 2k minus 2 is equal to 7k minus 8. 7k plus 2k it is 9k is equal to 8 minus 2 it is 6. So this is also 6 upon 9 means 2 upon 3. So in both the cases you can see that the ratio will be 2:3. You can compare by any term with I, scalar components with I or scalar components with k. Because j is not here, so we can't compare the j term. Okay, so these are the two parts of that. Number one, we have to prove that all 3 points are collinear. Second one, we are going to find B divides AC in which ratio. So the ratio is 2:3, and because AB plus BC is equal to AC is coming, that means B is the point which is coming in between A and C, and ABC are collinear. Okay. So that was question number 8. Ninth question is also having the same pattern. This ninth question follows the same pattern. So ninth for you. Question number 10th. The two adjacent sides of a parallelogram are given. Find a unit vector parallel to its diagonal. Also find area. It's also an important question. 10th, I am solving. Question number 10. Two adjacent sides of a parallelogram let us consider the two adjacent sides are given. 2i minus 4j plus 5k and second one is I minus 2j minus 3k. Okay, it's a diagonal. You know that the resultant is a diagonal always in a parallelogram. Question is two adjacent sides of a parallelogram are given. Find the unit vector parallel to its diagonal. Find the unit vector parallel to its diagonal. So what does it mean? Vector AC is equal to AB plus AD. AB is equal to AB plus AD. Because it is a resultant, diagonal is a resultant. So AC is equal to AB plus AD. We'll add them. 2i minus 4j plus 5k plus AD. I minus 2j minus 3k. So it is coming 2i plus I, 3i, minus 4j minus 2j, it is minus 6j, plus 5k, it is 2k. Because we are going to find the unit vector of it. So unit vector of AC is equal to 3i minus 6j plus 2k upon magnitude of the scalar components. 3 3 are 9 plus 36 plus 4. So 3i minus 6j plus 2k upon under root 36 plus 9, it is 45 plus 4, 49, and that means it is 7. So 3i minus 6j plus 2k upon 7. And this is, of course, it is coming with plus minus. So it is 3 upon 7i minus 6 upon 7j plus 2 upon 7k. That is one. And second part they are asking, second part in which they are asking that also find its area. So you know that area of parallelogram is equal to, or ABCD may write here, magnitude of AB cross AD. Okay, AB cross AD. To find AB cross AD, so this is first AB cross AD is equal to I j k 2 minus 4 5 1 minus 2 minus 3. Okay, taking with I, leaving this column and row. 4 3 is 12 plus 10. 4 3 is 12 plus 10. 22 minus j minus 6 and minus 5 minus 11 plus k minus 4 and that is plus 4 0. So it is 22i plus 11j, and we are putting the value here because they're finding the magnitude. So magnitude is 22 square plus 11 square. 22 square, 2 2s are 4, 2 2s are 4, 4, 8, and it is 4 plus 121. So that is 5, 10, and 6, 605. Square unit, square units. Okay, right. So I am trying to cover each and every question of this exercise because generally the miscellaneous exercise is considered as a difficult. So I am covering maximum questions of this exercise. 11th question is given. Show that the direction cosines of the vector equality inclined to axis OX, OY and OZ are plus minus 1 upon root 3 plus 1 upon root 3 and 1 upon root 3. So the direction cosines of the vector equally inclined. Equally inclined, what does it mean? By the way, the formula, you know that cos square alpha plus cos square beta plus cos square gamma is equal to 1. If they are equally inclined, what does it mean? Cos square alpha plus cos square alpha plus cos square alpha is equal to 1. That means it is 3 cos square alpha is equal to 1. Therefore, cos square alpha is equal to 1 by 3 and cos alpha is equal to plus minus 1 by root 3. So this is the result, plus minus 1 by root 3 for all. Okay. Question number 12 I am taking. That is, 3 vectors are given a, b, c. Find a vector d which is perpendicular to both a and b, and c dot d is equal to under root 15. Okay, it is one of the important question. So 12th question, vector a is equal to I plus 4j plus 2k. Vector b is equal to 3i minus 2j plus 7k. And vector c is equal to 2i minus j plus 4k. 2i minus j plus 4k. Okay, these are 3 vectors given. I plus 4j plus 2k, 3i minus 2j plus 7k, and 2i minus j plus 4k. Find vector d which is perpendicular to a and b, and c dot d is equal to 15. Vector c dot vector d is equal to given 15, and d vector which is perpendicular to a as well as b, it is given. So I'll consider let the vector d. Let vector d is equal to xi plus yj plus zk. This vector d I have considered xi plus yj plus zk. So finally we are finding the values of x, y, z and substitute here. Okay. Number 1, because this d is perpendicular on a. If d is a perpendicular on a, what does it mean? If vector d is perpendicular to vector a, that means vector d dot vector a is equal to 0. Two vectors are perpendicular, their dot product is 0. So vector d dot a is equal to 0. D xi plus yj plus zk dot a, I plus 4j plus 2k is equal to 0. Scalar components, x plus 4y plus 2z is equal to 0. Equation number 1. Same as vector d is perpendicular to b, that means vector b dot vector d is equal to 0. So this is xi plus yj plus zk dot vector b, 3i minus 2j plus 7k is equal to 0. So that is again when we compare 3x minus 2y plus 7z is equal to 0. Equation number 2. Okay. There are two equations. Third equation is c dot d is equal to 15. It is given. C dot d and vector c dot vector d is equal to 15. So c, that means it is c dot d or d dot c, same thing, because in a dot product a dot b or b dot a, it's the same. So when I write here xi plus yj plus zk dot c, 2i minus j plus 4k is equal to 50, not 0. Compare, so 2x minus y plus 4z is equal to 50. This is equation number 3. Is it okay? Now we got three equations, equation 1, 2 and 3, and there are 3 variables. So it is very easy for us to solve the questions. We are having a 3 equations and 3 variables. Okay, using 2, y1 and 2. y1 and 2. Equation number 1 is x plus 4y plus 2z is equal to 0. And here is a 3x minus 2y plus 7z is equal to 0. Okay. So cross multiplication method, taking x, 7 4 is 28, minus minus plus, it is 2 2 is 4. Are you aware of that? When we are taking x, so hide this part. Coefficient 7 multiplied by 4 minus sign from the formula, and 1 minuses this, which makes plus. 2 2 is 4. Same as y upon this is when we take y upon, if there's a minus sign then direct, otherwise it's not a minus sign, so we'll take like that. 3 2 is 6 minus 7, and z upon, leaving this z part, minus 2 minus 12 is equal to, suppose, k. So x upon 32 is equal to y upon minus 1, and z upon minus 14 is equal to k. Okay, or I'll take lambda because k is here, so there's a confusion. So x is equal to 32 lambda, y is equal to minus lambda, and z is equal to minus 40 lambda. These values of x, y, z will be substituted in 3 by 3. So in third equation there's a 2 in place of x, 32 lambda minus y minus lambda plus 4, and z is minus 14 lambda is equal to 15. Is that okay? Nothing I have done here, only in place of x, y, z I replace the value 32 lambda minus 1 lambda and minus 14 lambda. So it is 64 lambda. It is 64 lambda plus lambda, and it is minus 14 4 ja 56 lambda is equal to 15. Okay, so that means 64 plus 1 65, 65 minus 56, it is 9 lambda is equal to 15. Therefore lambda is equal to 15 upon 9. 3 5 ja 3 2 ja 5 upon 2. So the value of lambda is equal to 5 upon 2. Okay, and the value of lambda is equal to 5 upon 2. That means the values of x, y, z we can find out with the help of that. So now see here, the value of x is equal to 32 lambda. So 32 multiplied by 5 by 2, it is 16 5 ja 80. Y is equal to minus lambda, so minus 5 by 2, and z is equal to minus 14 lambda, minus 14 and multiplied by 5 by 2, 5 by 2. Okay, so 7 5 is 35 minus 35. Okay, so these are three value: x is equal to 80, y is equal to minus 5 by 2, and z is equal to minus 35. So whatever the d which we have considered, so therefore vector d is equal to xi plus yj plus zk. X, that is 16 5 are 80i, plus y minus 5 by 2, so this is minus 5 by 2j, and plus z is minus 35, so it is minus 35k. Is it okay? So when we multiply it by 2, it is coming 160i minus 5j minus 70k. This is the value of vector t. Is it okay? So that is question number 12. Question number 13 is the scalar product of the vector I plus j plus k with the unit vector along the sum of the vectors, two vectors given, is equal to 1. Find the value of lambda. Oh, I think this question, yes, this is also one of the important question. I am solving it. Question number 13. 13th question. The scalar product of the vector I plus j plus k with the unit vector along the sum of 2i plus 4j minus 5k. 2i plus 4j minus 5k, and second lambda I plus 2j plus 3k. Okay, is equal to 1. See, understand the meaning of this question number 13 first. The scalar product of this vector and sum of the scalar product vector this with the unit vector along the sum of the scalar product of the vector I plus j plus k with a unit vector along the sum of the vectors is equal to 1. So scalar product of this vector plus unit vector along the sum of these two vectors is equal to 1. It is given. What is it? The scalar product of first vector and the unit vector along the sum of these two vectors is equal to 1. It is given. So first of all, I am finding sum of these two vectors. Okay. This is, let vector A is equal to, it is B is equal to, and that I have taken as a vector C is equal to. Right. So actually what is given in the question, it is given that vector A dot unit vector of B plus C is equal to 1. So this is B plus C I am finding first, vector B plus vector C. So this is 2i plus 4j minus 5k plus lambda I plus 2j plus 3k. Scalar components 2 plus lambda I with j, 4 plus 2 it is 6j, minus 5 and plus 3 it is minus 2k. Okay, this is the sum. Now we are going to find the unit. unit vector of B plus C is equal to the vector 2 plus lambda I plus 6j minus 2k upon magnitude of scalar components 2 plus lambda whole square plus 6 square and plus minus 2 square. What is it? This is the unit vector. As given, now what is the question? Which says the scalar product of this and this is equal to 1. So as given, I plus j plus k dot 2 plus lambda I 6j minus 2k upon 2 plus lambda whole square plus 36 plus 4 is equal to 1. It is given that this is equal to 1. Okay. Dot product. So when we use the dot product, it is scalar component 1, here is equal to 2 plus lambda. So it is 2 plus lambda, 1 with 6 plus 6 and 1 with minus 2, it is minus 2. Upon under root 2 plus lambda whole square plus 40 is equal to 1. We'll shift that side. So it is coming 2 plus lambda plus 6 plus 2. So this 2 and 2 cancel. 6 plus lambda is equal to under root 2 plus lambda whole square plus 40. Is it okay? This term will be shifted here. Squaring on both sides. Squaring on both sides. We have. So when we squaring both sides, 6 plus lambda whole square is equal to, why we are making squaring on both sides? So that this root will remove. Okay. So it is a plus b whole square, a square plus b square plus 2ab, 12 lambda is equal to 4 plus lambda square plus 4 lambda and plus 40. Okay. So a square plus b square plus 2ab, a square plus b square plus 2ab plus 40. So here lambda square and lambda square simply they can be cancelled. 36 plus 12 lambda is equal to 4 plus 40, 44 plus 4 lambda. So 12 lambda minus 4 lambda is equal to 44 minus 36. 8 lambda is equal to 44 minus 36, it is 8. Therefore, lambda is equal to 1. Okay. Therefore, lambda is equal to 1. So, the value of lambda is, because the question they have find the value of lambda. So, lambda is equal to 1. Okay. This is one of the important questions as far as the boards are concerned. Number 14, if ABC are mutually perpendicular to vectors of equal magnitude so that C dot D is equal to 15 is equally inclined to vector A, B and C. Okay. So this is not correct. It is given that ABC are mutually perpendicular to the vector of equal magnitude so that C dot D is equal to 15 is equally inclined to ABC. Actually, it is a question like that. ABC are mutually perpendicular vector of equal magnitude so that they are equally inclined to ABC. Only this is the question. They are equally inclined to ABC. 14th. It is given that vector A, vector B and vector C, vector A, vector B and C are mutually perpendicular and equal magnitude, mutually perpendicular. If they are mutually perpendicular, that means vector A dot vector B is equal to 0, B dot C is equal to 0, C dot A is equal to 0, and magnitude of A is equal to magnitude of B is equal to magnitude of C. It is given. These two terms are given. They are mutually perpendicular to each other, and second one, their magnitudes are, they are equal in magnitudes. Show that they are equally inclined to vector A, B and C. Equally inclined to vector A, B and C. Okay. Actually, the question is not correct. It is given that vector A plus B plus C is equally inclined to A, B and C. You just correct this. It is given that show that vector A plus B plus C is equally inclined to vector A, vector B and vector C. This is the term. Is equally inclined. Okay. So that is a question. You just correct it. It's just C dot D unnecessary. It is given that. Maybe possible that C dot D is printed from question number 12 in that. Okay. So A plus B plus C is equally inclined to A, B and C. Let us see the angle between, let angle between vector A and vector A plus vector B plus vector C be alpha. Then what happens? Dot product cos alpha is equal to vector A dot A plus B plus C upon magnitude of A and magnitude of A plus B plus C. Am I right? This is a cos for definition. As you know that vector A dot vector B is equal to magnitude of A, magnitude of B in cos theta. So that means cos theta is equal to vector A dot vector B upon magnitude of A, magnitude of B. So I have written this step directly. Cos alpha is equal to A dot. Yes. Is it okay? What's the meaning of it? A dot A. It's A square upon magnitude of A plus B plus C. Okay, because A dot B mutually perpendicular 0 and A dot C mutually perpendicular, it's 0. So A square upon B. So 1A will be cancelled. Here the result is A upon magnitude of A plus B plus C is equal to this cos alpha. Same as cos beta. Cos beta is equal to, we are taking the angle between B and A plus B plus C. Angle between B and A plus B plus C. This is for cos beta. Then what is the term is coming? B dot vector B dot A plus B plus C upon magnitude of B and magnitude of vector A plus vector B plus vector C. So here what happens? It is B square upon magnitude of B vector A plus vector B plus vector C. This B will be cancelled. It is coming B upon A plus B plus C. And third one is, we are taking cos gamma, and cos gamma is equal to between C and A plus B plus C. Then finally what would be coming here? It is A, that is B, and last will be, it is coming C upon A plus B plus C. Okay. We are going to prove that all three are equal, 1, 2 and 3. So of course they are equal because magnitude of A, magnitude of B and magnitude of C all are given equal. And their denominator, magnitude of, this is A plus B plus C, A plus B plus C, A plus B plus C. So what does it mean? Cos alpha is equal to cos beta is equal to cos gamma. So they are equally inclined with vector A, vector B and vector C of angle A plus angle, vector A plus vector B plus vector C. Okay, is that clear? So first is vector A and vector A plus vector B plus C Between them there is an angle alpha. So cos alpha is equal to this. Cos alpha with vector b, so in place of a there's a b. Cos gamma with c, in place of c there's a b. So on the numerator you'll see that it is coming a, b and c because all three are equal and denominator already given equal. So that means these three angles cos alpha, cos beta and cos gamma are equal. So what does it mean? They are equally inclined to vector a, vector b and vector c. And question number 14. 14 already we have done. 15. Prove that vector a plus vector b dot vector a plus vector b is equal to a square plus b square if and only if a and b are perpendicular. If and only if a and b are perpendicular. Okay. It is given that vector a plus vector b dot vector a plus vector b is equal to a square plus b square is equal to a square plus b square if and only if a and b are perpendicular. Okay, a and b are perpendicular. So let us take first, we are taking this term, okay, and we'll prove that a and b are perpendicular. Simply we are solving this vector a plus vector b. So multiplied vector a dot vector a plus vector a dot vector b plus vector b dot vector a and plus vector b dot vector b. Is it okay? This is equal to a square plus b square. So vector a dot vector a, it is a square. Actually this are a square. Both the things are same because it is a magnitude of vector whole square, it's a square. So a square plus a dot b plus b dot a are a dot b. Same thing, vector a dot vector b plus I can write here vector a dot vector b plus b dot b, it is b square, is equal to a square plus b square. So a square b square will be cancelled by that. So 2 vector a dot b is equal to 0. This means vector a dot vector b is equal to 0. And the dot product of two vectors is equal to 0. What does it mean? A is perpendicular to b. Is it okay? A dot b is equal to 0. That means a and b are perpendicular to each other. Okay, got it? That is one. Second, we are taking a and b are perpendicular. This we are taking if a dot b is equal to 0 because a and b are perpendicular. Then we want to show this. Okay. So here we'll multiply vector a plus vector b dot vector a plus vector b. So is it coming vector a dot vector a plus vector a dot vector b plus vector b dot vector a and plus vector b dot vector b. A dot 8 is a square plus vector a dot b plus vector b dot a plus b square. Because it is given that a b perpendicular, so vector a dot vector b is equal to 0. So it is a square plus that is 0 plus 0 plus b square. So the result is a square plus b square. So if this term is given, then a and b are perpendicular. If a and b are perpendicular, then it is. Okay. So this is the meaning of if and only if. That means once we have to take this and prove that one. Second, we have to take this part, this term, and we'll have to prove this. Okay. So that was question number 15. Now some questions are there. If theta is the angle between the two vectors a and b, then 8b is greater than 0 only when the terms are given. So these questions you will try to solve them. Okay. choose the correct options are there. I hope you will solve them. Okay, guys, so thank you. Thanks for watching me. Thank you very much.